everyone, welcome to the Voice of Charon Healing Podcast. I am Almighty Servant Charon, here to let you know you are power, you are light, you are loved. Guys, I'm going to tell you a story about Azealia Banks. And right now I feel like a little trifling maybe, because I'm not sure if that's how you say her name, but that's how I knew it. But anyway, Azealia Banks. A lot of people like to complain about her, bash her, talk about her, try to tear her down, try to all these things. And this woman, this gorgeous, beautiful, strong, powerful, confident, so many words, that doesn't even describe it. This beautiful woman is one that I will love forever, okay? And I know I've seen her say some things, and I've seen people get mad in the wars and the cyber fights and all this stuff that's happening. And I absolutely do not care. No one can tell me anything bad about Azealia Banks. Why? That woman is love. That woman is connected to a truth and a core of what this world needs so good, so juicily. That woman, she's like, whoa. And yeah, you get aside and she'll tear a hole in your whole ego. She'll rip your whole false pride out of you. She'll say things that people don't want to hear. She has people trying to cancel her and all this stuff. And she is one of the most glorious people I've ever met. And you want to know why she's one of the most glorious people I've ever met? I'm about to tell you the story. All right, get some popcorn. No, I'm just playing. So, I'm one of the best tap dancers in the world. I've told you that before. I'm not doing that, so ignore that. But I had to tell you that because I was doing a show, okay? So I was tap dancing. So, a friend was wanting to produce a new show. And when you produce new shows, you usually start it at a small place first, test some things out at a little black box theater. And then you grow, you go a little bigger, and then you tweak the show, and then you grow to a bigger theater, and blah, 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 blah. And then depending on how far you want to go with it, maybe you go on tour and all other sorts of things. Okay. So I was at a show for a friend who wanted to produce his own show, and I was doing a dance. So I did my little dance, had my little tap board. They said, can you come in and just do something? So I did a poem and I tapped. All right. It's a small theater. Okay. Small. I mean, like it was only maybe 3 rows of seats, theater seats that went up and maybe only 10 across. It probably only sat like 30, 40, 50 people. It was so small. It was one of the smallest small black box theaters I had ever seen. Okay. So anyway, I did the show, blah, 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 blah. And then I was going out of the lobby to leave, right? Going to meet my boyfriend at that time. Okay. So the show's over. I pick up my little tap board because I don't want to mess up their theater stage. And I'm walking out. And people are saying, oh, you did amazing. I'm like, oh, yeah, thanks. Thanks so much. Oh, I appreciate you, all that kind of stuff. And then this one woman walks up to me and she's like, hi, oh my gosh. She was like, you did so good. You were so amazing. Right. And I'm looking at her, and I had went to New York before to work on a Broadway show to help with the production of it. What do they call it? They call it workshopping it when they're like creating it before it goes on stage. So I went to New York for a few weeks to do that, to work on that for a show. I'm not going to say the name of it. And when I was there, my play brother loved Azealia Banks. So he put me on to her. And the first video I saw was her with the snake. Have you seen it when she's like, kind of looking like Medusa, but not, it's Ice Princess, I think is the name of it. And she's like blue, and it's like this animation and all this stuff. And it is so bomb, you guys. If you have not seen that, You should go watch it. I think it's Ice Princess. Maybe I'll say it at the end. I don't know. But oh my God. And then I think she funded it or something, or I don't know if she funded it or not. It doesn't matter. It was so bomb. So every time I would come home from rehearsal, I'd be like, oh, Ice Princess, right? And then he started showing me more, and I saw all these videos, and he kept bringing out these things, and we'd always vibe out to her while I was out there for those 3 weeks, okay? It was when I first heard of her. Never knew who she was before that. So here I am performing my show after coming back from New York, doing this thing with this guy. And she's standing in front of me, and I'm looking, and I'm like, is this the woman from the video? Is this Azealia, right? So right as I'm thinking this, she's like, I am, and she said her name. Now, I feel like I'm saying her name wrong right now, because when she said her name, I almost corrected her, you guys. Like, what a dork. She was like, so say it isn't Azealia. Say she said, hey, I'm Azealia. Say she said that. And I was going to correct her, like, you mean Azealia? Like, I was offended. Like, how are you going to get her name wrong? She's so amazing. You better learn her name. I'm telling this woman that that's not her name. That's what I was about to do. What I call myself. So then when she said it, and then I looked, and then I just went off. I was like, oh my God, stop it. I just found out about you. My player brother loves you. Blah, 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 blah. Right? And I went on giving her props. But she was like, nah, it's you. She was like, I like you. She was like, I was just up the thing, getting something to eat or something. She was like, at the thing, and I was walking back to my place, and I heard the music, and I felt something. So I came here. And then she was like, I didn't know why I was coming in here. And she was like, but it was you. And she was like, your thing was the bomb. It was the best. She was like, the rest I didn't really like, but you were so whatever. I loved what you did, and this and that and that. Now, here is why I love Azealia Banks. Superstar, gorgeous. I'm so sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but this is some of the purest love ever on earth. Okay. So, she's talking to me, and then I'm telling her about my charity project. And I went around for a lot of years trying to raise money for projects for underserved kids and underserved areas, okay? The amounts of no's and this and that, or we don't do that, or this or that and that, but we'll spend $500 on one dress instead of giving $500 that can help 300 kids be inspired, right? Little things like that. Celebrities who didn't whatever. Now, God later told me that celebrities were going through the things that you guys are hearing about now. Basically, like, they went through some stuff. They not trying to give up no whatever. They went through some stuff to get what they got. It ain't just they had this and they don't. Some of, like, God told me that a little bit, so I like let it off. But regardless, this beautiful woman, after me telling her about something nonchalantly, I was like, yeah, I was working on things. I wanted to rent a theater or whatever and teach the kids. Do you know? She said, what? She called the theater owner because he came with something. She was like, hey, you own this? And then he was like, yeah. And then she was like, how much to rent this theater? I'm about to cry. She said, how much to rent this theater twice a week for 2 to 3 hours at a time. And my heart, went, look, I can't even explain it to you, you guys. When I'm going to all these people to get charity things, I'll have a color pack with all this. I'll have a black, I'll have a this, I'll have that. And everybody always has some reason why they can't contribute to the project. Oh, this is this should be blue, or you should have this on this page and then this on that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We're putting up a Christmas play. This thing doesn't matter. These paperwork doesn't matter. I didn't have to show her proposal the first. She asked that man how much to rent his theater twice a week for 2 to 3 hours a day to come in and love up on some kids so I could teach them how to tap dance and theater and some other things. You guys, and then this is why can't nobody tell me nothing about Azealia Banks. And I'm sorry for getting it wrong. Matter of fact, I'm about to say Miss Banks for right now. Miss A. Banks, okay? He told her that we couldn't, or no, he couldn't or wouldn't or can't do that. And she went in on him like nobody's business. Why? What do you mean you don't rent this? Something, something, something. Is it because of this, that? Are you discriminating? What do you mean you're not renting this theater when it's not in blah, 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 and nobody's even here? Oh, I see you. I'm just sitting here. Someone who's going through like 10, God, over a decade of draminess with this. Like a lot of the things that I did with charity, I had to wind up paying for myself. And she went in, tried to do it, and then fought the man when you said no. So, Azealia Banks, you're one of the realest there ever was. You're one of the realest there ever is. And I want to say thank you so much for that on a whole other note, okay? All right? Now, so the sweet, beautiful, she's beautiful. I don't care what none of y'all say. Hate if you want to. Keep your comments to yourself because you'll be talking to yourself. Can't no one tell me anything bad about Azealia Banks. I will never change the love in my heart for her. Nope. So after that, she was like, hey, you should come out to drinks with us. Let's go have drinks or something. So my boyfriend was in town, but he wasn't at the show. He was just getting in town. So he was picking me up. So he got there and then he met her and then we all went to get drinks with her friend. So we got the drinks or whatever. And then, we were talking and all this stuff. She's amazing. None of your business what we were talking about. And then, she's like, hey, let's keep going. You want to come to my place? So then she was like, it's right up the street. So then I went to her place. Okay. Me and my boyfriend and I think it was her choreographer, her best friend. So we get up there and this beautiful, dear heart who just healed my heart on every rejection I've ever got when it comes to charity. This beautiful heart, you guys, pulls me over into the kitchen and it's like, hey, I know something, but you've got to listen to me. He is something. And she said some word and I didn't understand what it was. Okay. And then she was like, no, listen, she was like, you have to something. He's a whoop. And then she was like, trust me, I don't know what she said. I want to say bruja, but I don't think that was it. I tried to look it up. I don't know what it was, but I think it might have been witch. I don't know, a former witch. I'm not sure. You hear that she has the skull or something and all this stuff. I don't know. I know black magic or whatever has its place in some way for freeing slaves or something or helping. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, not into that. But she said, trust me, I'm a bruja or whatever the word was. She was like, you need to get a snake and you need to break up with him or you need to leave him. You need to get away from him. He's a something. And I was like, oh my God, right? She was like, don't say anything. So I did it. And then I'm like, what is this? And I tried to look up the word that she said, but since it was something I had never heard before, I couldn't remember what it was. So I was like, what the heck? But then when you meet someone, you don't necessarily trust them, somebody comes up and say, you're like, I trust you, to this. So I observed a little bit. I listened because her message was so pure and you could hear it from the heart. Okay. So, I kept it in my mind and I was like, okay. And then do you know that later, about a week, the crap came out and I saw whatever. And then later on in life, when I tell you guys about someone doing black magic on me, he was a warlock and everything else. Okay. So I had no knowledge of like magic back then being so real. So something that people actually do, a lot of us think it's just the movies. A lot of us don't talk about it. A lot of us are like, yeah, God's over everything and this and that. Yes, God is over everything. God is most certainly over everything. But God also is who told me specifically later on in life when walking in Target, someone's doing black magic on you. Someone's doing black magic on you. And I'm like, why are you telling me this? You're God, you're over everything. But God wanted me to know why. Because you have to protect yourself from it. You can't just be out here flailing in the wind with dog crap flying on you when you can just close the door. You understand? You just close the door. It's right there. You don't even have to close the door. You can ask God to close the door. There are so many things that we need to protect ourselves from that we do not know about. Okay. So many. And a lot of people who walk around you looking all innocent are the ones that are spewing out that spiritual warfare that you guys hear about, but you weren't really sure what spiritual warfare is. Guess what? A lot of it stems, okay, yes, in spirit realm and all that, but the people here and their actions on earth, a lot of it stems from that. Some of your aunties, my auntie, my ex, another ex, it's people and their choices, all right? So I went on a little tangent, but the most important thing is Azealia Banks, Azealia, just in case I said it wrong. I love you so much, and I am forever grateful for you coming into my life and helping to make me aware of something that I wasn't even able to truly comprehend until almost 5 years later, maybe 10 years later. But you were a true angel to me, okay? So I salute you. And I know you're going through a lot, and I know they're attacking you a lot, and I know you're strong and you're independent and you're a boss and you be making stuff happen, my queen. I know you are. So I want to just say that I am so proud of you, okay? And I encourage you and inspire you to keep expressing yourself and doing whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing here on earth. Keep going, my love, okay? I love you and I appreciate you so much. Your warning to me did not go, it wasn't wasted, okay? I made it. I'm free. What you saw that I made it, sweetheart, okay? So I just want to say thank you so much. I am forever grateful and I love you more than infinitely so much. All right, you guys, remember what I said. Black magic, y'all, whatever, but God's self, and someone tell me, because you have to put your prayers up. You have to protect yourself. Don't try to do it back. That's where you get screwed up. I mean, if you're supposed to, you are. But if you're just like, oh, I heard this, let me look into it and maybe try it. Don't do it. Don't do it, okay? A lot of people that do it don't tell you that they got effed up. A lot of people that do it don't tell you that they do it, okay? So don't play yourself, all right? There is nothing and no one more powerful than God. And that's enough of my blabby story of the day. I love you all, you guys. Love yourself. Love everyone. And go watch Ice Princess if you haven't seen it by her. She is amazing. That is the dopest video ever. Okay, I'm out. I am the voice of Charon, an almighty servant of God, okay? I love you. Love yourself. Love everyone. You are power. You are light. You are loved. Make sure you subscribe to the Voice of Charon Healing Podcast, where I speak about any and everything as soon as it comes to my heart. You are power. You are light. You are loved.
This episode is sponsored by Fearless Glory Publishing. Take the first step towards a life of true forgiveness and love with our best-selling book, It All Comes Up to Love, How to Truly Forgive via God's Source, our Creator. Order your copy today at ebook.almightyservant.com.